In 1974, the Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine left the Palestinian Liberation Organization to form the Rejectionist Front with other left groups in response to Fatah's 10-point program that was deemed as the first step to the recognition of the State of Israel. This happened again when the PLO entered negotiations that culminated in the Oslo Accords, PFLP this time joining or forming the Alliance of Palestinian Forces with both left secular groups and Islamic groups such as Hamas and Islamic Jihad. The PFLP is no longer a member of the Alliance of Palestinian Forces. Can you give some insight into the decision to once again become active in the PLO when it continues to contradict one of the PFLP's core principles of not negotiating with the enemy?
PFLP is part of PLO, and PLO is the sole representative of the Palestinians and the legitimate representative of the Palestinians. Now, this is the institution where we can, as an opposition, to struggle for the change of the attitude of Fatah as the leadership of PLO now. This is from one side. From the other side, we have connections with Hamas and Jihad because these are part of the components of our society, and organizations from our society, and we don't say that we don't have anything to do with them or don't have relations with them. We have relations with all factions because we are in a stage, the liberation stage, and the rules that govern or that give us the right to have relations with all factions, including the Islamic factions. This because the main contradiction is with the Israeli occupation and not with the components of our society. That's why we are still in PLO, because we are the founders of PLO, although we are not the main leadership of the PLO. But still, we are opposing the Oslo Accords. We are opposing the division that has taken place through using arms between Hamas and Fatah. We condemned using arms because since the beginning of the revolution after 1967, we have reached to an agreement that any contradictions among the factions cannot be solved except by dialogue and by discussions, and not by arms. Arms only used against the enemy. That's why we are in a place where we are on the same distance between the two factions, between Fatah and Hamas. But at the same time, we have many common things that we can agree upon. For example, the settlements, the wall, prisoners issues, issues dealing with the Israeli policy, although we are against negotiations. And lately, we were, with others, against the indirect negotiations according to the American suggestion to have indirect negotiations without stopping the settlements. And we succeeded to do that, that even Abbas couldn't accept he accepted at the beginning, but he stopped because of the opposition. We are leading that opposition as PFLP.
Why, when Fatah and Mahmoud Abbas have consistently sold out the Palestinian cause to Israeli and imperialist demands, do they still seemingly have popular support?
I think that Mahmoud Abbas is still having support, but not to the extent to sell the Palestinian cause. We still hear criticism, high criticism now, from different factions and from different personalities, social or from unions, criticizing the attitude of Abbas, which means that he is losing his popularity since he was elected as the president. That's why I think that if he goes on with his policy towards negotiations, I think he will lose a lot.
And Fatah?
Of course, he is the chief of Fatah, and Fatah will lose first from its members, from the bases of Fatah, because the bases of Fatah up till now, they are with the resistance and not against it. But because of the situation in the West Bank between the Israelis and the security apparatus of Abbas, people reach to a point where they cannot do what they want to do, because either they will be arrested by the Palestinian apparatus or by the Israelis, which means that they are squeezing even the people to express their attitude. But when it came to settlements or building, destroying the houses in Jerusalem, we have witnessed that people were going out declaring their attitude in Hebron, in Jerusalem, in Nablus, in different cities of the West Bank, condemning the Israeli steps towards changing Jerusalem, which means that the people contain a lot of anger against this policy. And this made Abbas retreat from accepting the indirect negotiations with Israel.
They're building a wall between friends, a wall that justifies any means for their ends, a wall between Semites, rich and poor, brothers and sisters.